Thank you for listening to Depictions Media Radio. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I'm here today with Kym Niles, and she's here to talk to us today about how to keep some of the stressors down around our small business has been shut down because of COVID-19, and she's going to come up with some tips that are a little more holistic. And usually, when things are holistic, that means that they're maybe a little easier to follow. So, let's get some background information from Kym as I welcome her into the show. Hi, Kym. How are you?
I am well, Michael. Thank you for having me.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience?
Okay, so I am a business coach. I wear many different hats, but in pertaining to this particular show, I am a business coach. And I ventured on to being a business coach after working in many different areas of more of a corporate business, and where a lot of employers would hire me to basically, almost for lack of better words, over the years, I gained this term, this name called a firefighter. So they'd hire me, literally, they'd have a location that's not doing so well, and they'd be like, what can you do here and how can you fix this? And I've been very successful and throughout my career in being able to look at a business model that's not doing so well and be able to dissect it and put it back together for it to become profitable. So once doing that predominantly within the corporate industry for over a decade, I decided to venture out onto my own and started working with smaller businesses because they tend to need that a lot more than bigger. Not that the bigger corporates don't need that, but the small businesses, usually it is a one-man show that's running the ship, and they need a little bit more direction and coaching. And as you said, in particular, at the start of the show, the holistic approach, I found that a lot of small business owners do not take a holistic approach. So burnout becomes, the inevitable when they're continuously just working into their business, but they're not actually taking care of themselves first to show up properly in their businesses. So that's a little bit about me as a business coach. And now I work with several different companies across the board, helping them, whether it's my mortgages or it is in gyms or in beauty. I'm able to, use my skill set, which is more so transferable, and apply them to help business owners to elevate their business and ultimately become profitable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so already in your introduction, you said something really important, and of course we're taking the holistic approach, which starts with self. How do we first take care of ourselves during this time period so that because all these measures aren't going to last forever. They're eventually going to have to be removed, and we want them to be removed. So how do we take care of ourselves so that we are prepared to start up again?
I would say that it's right now for a lot of businesses that are non-essential, they're closed, and it's important right now to start into some sort of practice. First, I would say the first thing you have to do is not blame yourself, because it is a pandemic and it is no one's fault. So what we tend to do as human beings, just on a whole, is we like to, have something to say. This is the reason why this happened. So take the blame game out of there. It's no one's fault. A lot of entrepreneurs right now are looking at their state of the nation and they're saying, well, you know what, I don't have enough money saved up to manage through these couple of weeks. Who knows how long it's going to be? So all of that we need to just kind of remove from our system, because living in that state of feeling that you weren't prepared is not going to help your situation right now. It's about looking at the situation and getting yourself in the right mindset to have a strategy to get back post COVID-19. So the first thing we want to do is, I have a little bit of a list here of kind of the order to kind of ease your mind. I could easily say to a business owner right now, get up, start doing some yoga in the morning, start doing some meditation. It's going to make you feel better. It will. Absolutely. But what you will want to do is you want to give yourself a little bit of peace of mind and start to have a bit of strategy behind exactly what you're doing and start chipping away each day to that whole picture that you need to be kind of looking at right now, as opposed to just kind of be like, you're just buzzing and nothing's really happening. So, a couple of things which is really important right now is just to sit down and look at your business. This sounds so simple, but it is such a necessary step because a lot of small business owners, especially, tend to be so engulfed in what they're doing that they miss actually looking at the lay of the land of their business. And one of the easiest ways to look at the lay of the land is, know your numbers. You need to know what your numbers are. So if you've been doing it, that's great. If you use QuickBooks, you've accountant, whatever it is, sit down, look at your numbers. They may not be what you want to see, but digest it. It's okay. And, once you have that put together, you create a profit and loss statement, which if you are working with accountant, you should potentially have, or you could look them up online. There's lots of free downloads that you can find a profit and loss statement. You want to be able to map your numbers out. And all that means is what are your revenues? What are your expenses?
Mm-hmm.
Get that on paper and be very clear as to where you're at. Whatever that is, just digest it. It's okay. So now you know that. What's going to help you there is, okay, so next, where am I? Where can I save some money? Maybe you're in a commercial lease and you need to speak to your landlord because you're unable to pay rent. And in this time, I know there's been a lot of talk in regards to business relief. I'm sure landlords are more than willing to talk to you, have conversations with you. So get that, which usually there's two biggest expenses that business owners usually face. They usually face their payroll and their rent. So payroll right now, if you do have employees, depending on that situation, you may have laid them off. They're going to be okay. They're going to be receiving EI. Or if you have contractors, you've probably spoken to them already and you're working something else out there, speak to your landlord because that is another one of your biggest expenses. And then make some sort of deal there where however you're going to work it out, which is going to work best for you and your landlord at that time. So that at least takes a bit of pressure off of you. And then if there are any additional costs that you notice that are, not necessary at this moment, then what you want to do is potentially look at cutting those costs, maybe stopping a subscription for a moment. That obviously doesn't permit to your business still being recognized. So that would be one. Definitely deal with the numbers because the numbers is what weighs on us and stresses us out, right? You want to get clear on your numbers and kind of put a halt to whatever you need to make modifications to so that you can have at least some peace of mind going to bed. You're like, okay, I know that's been dealt with. Number two is a critical piece is explore your financial options. So you want to make sure that instead of dipping into your savings, so say, for example, you made a deal with your landlord and you're only paying half your rent for whatever reason there is, you're not just starting to dip into your savings. See what funding is out there. The government is putting out lots of funding in order to help businesses. You want to go and you want to explore what your business would qualify for as opposed to dipping into your savings. You don't really want to toggle with your credit score right now. That's really not what you want to do. You'll be able to get more credit for your business if your credit is actually in a good standing. So that's really important. And the next piece, which is really critical as well, when in a time like this in crisis, there's two different ways how people deal with it. Some people, they keep talking and other people go silent. You don't want to go silent at this time, and especially with your clients. You want to be able to engage with your clients and stay connected with them. It's really, really important to stay connected. They're aware, obviously, with the state of the nation right now. It's not something that's within anybody's control. So, but what you could do is blogs with them, virtual meetups. You can have online offers, let's just say, if you do operate virtually, and, just connect with them. Let them know that you're still there. Talk to them. Another great thing that you can do as well is you have the opportunity to run surveys. So if you're in a product, whatever product or service that you're offering, create a Survey Monkey, and, you can easily just send it out to your clients and kind of get some feedback. And this could actually be quite a critical piece to your post-COVID-19 strategy. So Now that we've kind of looked at the numbers, we know what's going on in our business.
Mm-hmm.
We know that you've got, okay, we're probably in need of some money. So we know that one option is to explore what financial opportunities and benefits and reliefs that the government is putting out. You now keep engaging with your clientele because you don't want to lose your clients. You want to still know, you want to keep your voice with them. The next piece, which is critical, because those are your biggest obstacles, let's just say, but the next piece is you want to take care of yourself. So once you've kind of settled that, all those little pieces in your mind just buzzing, you want to take care of yourself. So you want to make sure that your physical and mental health is in check. And it is really, really critical because the outlook of your business will be determined by the state of your mental health. And that is just a pure fact. You need to channel your energy to self-care. So what you want to do is make it a habit to move daily. You want to be able to eat nutritious foods that enhance your cognitive function, meditate, and also one critical piece is take media breaks. Nothing is more nerve-wracking than continuously being engulfed in the whole COVID-19 updates. Not saying that you don't need to have updates. You do need to have updates,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe 6 hours or 3 hours a day, turn it off. And then just give yourself a break. That way it's not like revving your central nervous system all the time. And, the other piece too is to think back to why you fell in love with your craft. Like, why did you fall in love with your business? Remember what that feeling was like. And that can help you, especially in silence, that can help to birth new ideas, which it'll really help for strategizing as well. And I think I said this at the beginning. I talked about the fact that it's okay, to kind of feel uncomfortable right now and feel confused because I feel like whether you're a small business owner or your employee or anybody, just a human on earth right now, the uncertainty really has us like upside down. So, it's okay to question yourself at this time. You're going to start questioning your competencies. I have to say this over and over, but it's not your fault. So we always go back to this place of feeling like beating ourselves up. What did you do wrong? You should have done this. You shouldn't have spent this. But it's saying, you know what? It's okay. And allowing space for your feelings. Like, it's critical to allow space for them because they are emotions and you have to acknowledge them. But know that they too will pass. We are in a tough season right now, but it will pass. And you have to just digest that and be okay with that. That was a long-winded answer.
It's a very, very long-winded answer, but very, very much so informative. And you're right. We do have to take the breaks away from this. The information that is coming through us here in the media is like it's like hanging onto a fire hose. It's like
it is.
And for the most part, for people who who are listening and aren't actively participating in the sharing of the information that's just coming through, all it's going to do is depress you even more, right?
Yes.
And
absolutely.
That's what you don't need.
It's true. And that's what I've really been helping my clients with is, they get a piece of information, just before this call, I was on the phone with a client and, he gets a piece of information and it's like, oh, like, no, relax, breathe. I know it sounds earth shattering because natural reaction is we go to the worst case scenario. Mm-hmm. And that's where the fear is really setting in, right? Because you hear another 2 weeks in quarantine, another month in quarantine, and all you think your business is closed. You're still obligated to pay for that rent. And, the list goes on and you just kind of see your world falling apart. So that's why those media breaks are critical because once you're able to reset your mind, you're able to find that balance. When you do tap back into media, you could look at it with a little bit more of a level head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Level head, is that going to be one of our more important tools?
I would say it is. You have to, that's why that mental health piece is critical and that outlook. Because if you have a level head, level mind at this moment, it's just going to help you not to freak out. Mm-hmm. Because, naturally, something happens on media and as a small business owner, your natural reaction is like, okay, so what happens to me? And, you do have to have that level mind at this moment in order to digest all the information that's coming through. And it'll also help you to be more creative in how, you continue to pursue with business. Maybe at this time there is an opportunity for you to to take your business online, to, work with your clients virtually. They could purchase your services virtually. This, and if your mind's always fried, for lack of a better word, because you're in panic mode, you're not going to allow room for creativity just to flow through. So you do need, it is critical for you to really focus on that that mental health piece balance, just because you will need that right now. Because right now you will need strategy, depending on the business that you're in. You're definitely going to need strategy in order to, rebound from all of this.
Right. So, what are you doing right now to stay in touch with your clients and keep make sure that people you stay in touch with everyone and communicate?
So for me, it's important to have phone calls daily with my clients,
Mm-hmm.
my business clients predominantly, because I also do training as well. So I do phone calls with them. I do Zoom calls. Because we're not able to look at people right now, the more virtual calls you can get on is going to be is going to be the best thing for you. You could look at your client, you can talk with them, because there's so much that we miss in that interaction, that human interaction. So for me, with my business clients, I specifically have daily calls with them, just really tapping into, how are they feeling? I'm always thinking about different strategies as to how to help them. In terms of training clients, I do virtual calls with them. I train virtually right now. I've moved to more of a one-on-one online training system, which is very new for me because I am definitely a people person. I love to be with people. So it's been a challenge, but I've had to learn how to adapt. And it's actually, I mean, I've found that clients really like it. In that way, it's not really too much structured in time for them. Like, in terms of having to say, come to the gym where, I have to be there for 8 o'clock. Right now, if, they need to make an adjustment, oh, I can't do until 8:30, Kym, no big deal. We're all home. So we can make that adjustment, and that's okay. So the flexibility of working virtually has definitely been a plus. But for me, I know also blogs.
Mm-hmm.
Blogs has been really a big one as well, in social media.
Right.
So staying connected through, articles and so daily social media posts. So, I feel at this time what's really critical as well, if you can be a part of the change that's needed to lighten the air, why not? So, if you're feeling a certain feeling and you want to put it out there, you do so. If you need to journal or whatever the case is, but I think the more humanness that the more human connection we can get. So whatever platform that I personally can use in order to connect with people, I do use them, and that's pretty much the best that you can do right now is just daily contact. That's what I've been doing.
So keep the stress down, daily contact with people, and know your numbers, right?
Yes, definitely. Know your number. Know your options as well.
Yes.
Know your No, you want to definitely know your numbers. You want to know your options. You want to engage with your clients. You want to definitely make space and make time for yourself, moving, eating every day in terms of nutritious foods. People sometimes neglect the importance of having nutritious foods. They really do help to fuel cognitive function, which is essential right now because, as we just chatted about, you have to kind of, I always call it, for lack of better words, get your mind right. Like, you
Right.
have to get your head in the game, and this is not the time for you to tap out. I've had people message me and they'll say, "Hey, how are you enjoying the break?" And it's like, I would say I'm enjoying the shift of lifestyle, so it's not always on the go, but I am still strategizing. I am still connecting with my clients, and it really isn't necessarily quote unquote a break, especially if you're a small business owner, or any business owner, as a matter of fact. This is definitely the time that you want to be preparing yourself, because I mean they could pull the plug in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks, I mean, I don't believe it's going to go back to how it used to be. But what does that new normal look like for
Mm-hmm.
your business? And you need to start kind of, you know, panning that out from now, right? It can't be like the night before. They say, okay, everything's good to go, and you're just trying to decide. Preparation here is definitely key. And I think another piece that's critical in all of this is ask for help. So say, for example, you're in a situation where, everyone has a different skill set. Some people are more performance-based, some people are more relationship-based. So if you feel that you're not in a position that you can help to strategize for your business, or you need a strategy partner, you need a coach, you need some sort of expert in your field to help you, put your hand up, start looking for help. Because, as I said before, some people are definitely going to need it. And also sometimes because you've been in your business and you're so in deep in it, it's hard for you to see another way of looking at it. And a fresh set of eyes always does that. And having someone to help to hold you accountable, but then also to help you strategize for your business is definitely a plus. And I know people will think, you know what? That's going to actually cost more right now. It is going to cost you, but it could also save your investment.
Right. Okay. So what are the best ways for people to get a hold of you if they want to talk to you more about coaching or just staying level-headed?
So my website is KymNiles.com. So KymNiles.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at KYMNILES. And you can also follow me on Twitter on that platform as well. And you can find me on LinkedIn on that platform as well.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
It really sounds like you really know what you're doing, and I see why they termed you the firefighter.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody for listening, and thanks for listening to Depictions Media. Bye for now. This show has been produced by Depictions Media. Please contact us at depictions.media for more information.